Yeah, I'm I'm stuck on that song. Been stuck on that song like all day. Truth be told, I've probably been stuck on that song for no, a couple of days now. Welcome, welcome to This Is Why I'm Single. Yeah, it's been a hell of a week, folks. A hell of a week. I It is December 22nd, 2017. I definitely had a hell of a work week. I feel worked to the damn bone. And I'm feeling a little weird right now. I don't know how else to put it to you. So, I'm divorced, which basically means I'm single again after being in a very long relationship for like 10 years, and it's been a learning period, a learning curve. Just trying to find your place back in the world again after such a long hiatus. It's definitely strange. I'll tell you that right now. I wanted to start doing a broadcast about it, a podcast, but this is easier for me. Just getting it out there wise. There's not as much. There's not as much work required, so to speak, to get a video out on YouTube. Now, there's a lot more work to get people to see it, or to hear it, or whatever the fuck. But, as far as just getting it out there, it doesn't require a whole hell of a lot of effort. Yeah, it's been strange. I've been trying to get back into the dating game after my divorce from last year. And, I talk a lot about it on another broadcast of mine called The Projects. And, I joke about it because it's kind of hilarious. It's kind of ridiculous. The dating scene is just, it's so alien to me now. I say it frequently, but I often feel like I'm a man out of time. Like I don't fit well into this era of people where indecision and games are prevalent. I don't do subtlety well. I don't grasp it well. I'm very direct. I'm one of those people who feel like I'm what you see is what you get, and what I say I'm going to do, I do. I'm that kind of person, and there's a lot of fuckery that just goes on in the day-to-day of this generation's version of dating and what it encompasses. A lot of that has to do with, online dating. And I do online dating because I'm just a busy guy. I don't really have time to meet people in any of the traditional ways that we might have been used to. And even if I did, I never really cared for those traditional ways. I wasn't ever very good at it, I guess, if we're being honest. I always felt awkward, in a lot of different social situations and scenarios. So trying to meet somebody and not feel completely strange, like a stranger in your own skin, really, it can be difficult, for anybody. and especially for somebody who's as talkative as I am, and it confuses people. People will talk to me and not understand why I have such a problem. Just putting myself out there and meeting new people, and really a lot of it does have to do with time, but some of it has to do with today's values and expectations, and the fickle attitudes of people. Everybody's so capricious. It's a generation of fair weather friends that kind of tried to bloom into fair weather relationships, and I'm not that kind of guy. I've tried to be that kind of guy. It just doesn't fit into my wheelhouse. It's not something that I aspire to. I like old-fashioned relationship. Somebody who is loyal and supportive, and what in the 90s we'd call ride or die, right? Thank you, DMX. But it's just a commodity. We've come to the generation of so many different things, and really, sexuality and relationships are really just commodities now. They're not something sought out of a desire to make something better, to combine separate parts and make something that's greater than the sum of all parts. That's not even a thought entering heads anymore. It's, what can you do for me now? What do I directly benefit from this without putting in any effort? And I'm not of that mindset. I'm fucking a romantic, dude. I am, I'm in it for the small things. And it's hard to be that kind of guy nowadays, because people don't understand it, and the people who can understand it, they often choose not to even appreciate it. It's a strange environment that we're in right now, and I'm trying to pick my way through it. And I'm gonna use this format as my launch pad. I'm gonna use this format as, it's gonna be so many things. I don't want to define it by any one particular thing, but seriously, I'm gonna probably bleed a lot in this confessional booth that I choose to erect on video. I not that long ago, I was interested in a young lady, we'll say. And I really thought that she was something very, very special. And she is something special. But I thought wrongly that it was something I could get involved with. And I was wrong. I was very wrong. She's not dead, but she's one of those people who is like a beacon of light in the darkness. She's just got that kind of personality. Like, just being around her can heal you. But she's a complex person. She's earthy and she's grounded, but she's flighty. She can be very fickle. And, maybe she had too many things in her life that were way too serious before, and now she's just done a 180. But it's one of those things, like, she's one of those women who has historically been treated poorly. and given loyalty when it wasn't deserved. And when presented with somebody who really wanted to make her feel special, make her feel like she wasn't just some other girl, some person, she didn't know how to handle it. It made her nervous. You know, here's a woman who, for all intents and purposes, is very strong woman, very strong of character, you know, strong-willed, stubborn, like all the great women are. And she just didn't know how to accept niceties, how to accept kindnesses, how to really take a compliment without kind of, you know, sneering, thinking that it's just a game. And it's something that sucks, because when you're genuine and you're trying to be the best version of yourself that you could be and present that to somebody else, you know, sometimes they still have a hard time seeing it. You know, because they're used to the phony, they're used to the fake. And there's nothing that you can really do to change that except maybe give it time. But time isn't the great leveler. You know, it doesn't level the playing field at all. Time is just a bookmark. It's just a way of marking that spot so that you can look back at it at some point and say, I remember when I was there. It doesn't make things really change. You know, what changes is the people around it. The people who saw the bookmark, the people who saw that spot in time and thought something different then as opposed to what they think now. You know, I took this woman out on dates. I hadn't been on a date in years. You know, my ex is my ex for a reason. But I pulled out chairs for her. I opened doors for her. I complimented her genuinely. I brought her flowers. You know, I did these things not because I wanted anything in return other than a chance. I did these things to make her feel better about herself because I valued her and I thought that she deserved that kind of treatment. I thought that she deserved to feel special, especially considering the bullshit that she went through in her life. Still being young and having to go through the hardships that she has. You know, it made me want to just take care of her. You know, show her that not every person is a bad person. But sometimes you meet somebody and they change the way you think. And it's so foreign that it scares you. You know, and that's what she did for me too. You know, she changed the way I thought. And, you know, honestly, I'm glad I met her. You know, I couldn't be with her because it's just doomed for failure. No matter which way it turned out, it was doomed for failure. But she was what I needed when I needed it, if that makes any sense. She was the lighthouse in the storm. And and she was absolutely like a storm. She came in full of sound and fury into my life, just a raging ball of energy. And she's still there on the edges, but it's mostly like a storm you talked about, you know, when you're remembering some cataclysm that is bigger after your memory has warped it than what it actually was when you were going through it. And it's kind of her personality. You know, she's an amazing woman. I care for her dearly, but from a distance, I can't be involved with some types of people, and it's not beneficial to me. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to see that, you know, and it applies to so many things, so many people, and so many women over the course of my life that I've met that have come into my life for one reason or another, and in most cases, thankfully, have left my fucking life. And I really do believe that, you know, a lot of those people were people I needed at that moment. And I couldn't tell that then, but I can tell it now because obviously hindsight's 20/20. Retrospect is always clear. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I got to meet this little storm. And she inspired me to start writing again. That's something I hadn't been doing for a while. You know, like poetry. You know, she lit a fire in me somewhere. And it's good because I was closed off. You know, after my divorce, I had a lot of emotional ups and downs during the course of my relationship with my ex-wife. And it was an experience to be learned from, that's for certain. But it's taken me well over a year to kind of get back to the kind of person I want to be. And I'm getting there, you know. It's strange. You don't realize how much you change over the course of a relationship with somebody until you're out of that relationship. So I'm starting to get back to the real me. And the real me likes to write a lot. And I like to be inspired. And the little storm definitely inspired me. So I'm good. You know, I'm still trying these online dating things and meeting people. You know, I actually, I was seeing a woman, and we just broke up tonight, a couple of days before Christmas, but it wasn't that serious. But I liked her. I did. You know, she was definitely different from a lot of the women I've dated in the past. But I realized that I've never really had a repeat. Somebody who is exactly the same as somebody else. So I mean that's good. You know, stretching my legs, so to speak. But she wanted all the things that I was until she had them. Isn't that strange? It's kind of the same way with the little storm. You know, the things she wanted, I gave her. She didn't know what to do with it. I'm wondering if it goes into the adage, you know, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. But I'm going to keep this brief. These little whatever fucking recordings these are going to be, I'm going to try to be brief with them as often as possible. But this is why I'm single. Girls are crazy. Yeah. Girls are crazy. Have a good one.